And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week.
And if the economy really is stupid, as the Clinton campaign used to say, Democrats are in real trouble, not only in my home state, but across the land, because inflation continues to be out of control. The September numbers are in, and the consumer price index up once again, 8.2% over year-to-date last year. And if you take the core of the inflation, that excludes the kind of volatile items of food and energy, it's at a 40-year high. In other words, up higher than it was for over 40 years. And what's driving all of that? It's the spending that the Biden administration has foisted upon us, trillions of dollars that we simply do not have. And Joe Biden continues to tell us that the United States is better positioned than any nation in the world to deal with the economy. Really? I mean, do you have any of your friends or neighbors that are waking up and saying, boy, we're in great shape as the markets continue to kill 401ks and the consumer price index continues to run through the roof, costing people more and more for gasoline, for home heating fuel, for food, and for every other commodity that's necessary just to survive? And while the economy continues to top all polls indicating what voters are really thinking about, and inflation continues to lead that parade, there are other issues causing the woke left a lot of problems. And this week, it was manifest in Tulsi Gabbard, a presidential candidate on the Democrat ticket just a couple of years ago, leaving the Democrat Party, calling them an elitist cabal. You know, that really pretty well sums it up. We see dollars pouring into Pennsylvania to support Josh Shapiro, for example, from the Hollywood elite. What does Steven Spielberg really have to want to know or do in Pennsylvania? And so why is this money pouring in from the Hollywood left? Tulsi Gabbard has it right. The Democrat Party has left its core constituency far behind. The old Kennedy Democrats, the Scoop Jackson Democrats, even the Hubert Humphrey Democrats are a thing of the long past at this point. And instead you've got this woke, ultra-progressive, ultra-liberal stuff that's going on across the party and does not reflect the views of so many that once called themselves Democrats. And that's why you see Democrats re-registering as Republicans all over the place. In Pennsylvania, the Republicans have basically cut their registration deficit in half, and it continues to look better and better as Latinos and African Americans in particular flock to the Republican Party. Why do you think that is? Tulsi Gabbard has an answer. You know, they used to call some folks Reagan Democrats. I think today they're going to start calling them Tulsi Gabbard Democrats. And across the country, the races are really starting to shape up, and the Senate race in Pennsylvania continues to be one of the leading indicators about where voters' thoughts are. And Mehmet Oz has tightened that race into a statistical dead heat at this point, with a little bit better than 3 weeks to go in the campaign. That's a lifetime in politics. So there's a lot of water to go over the dam or under the bridge or whatever analogy you choose. But here's the state of play as it looks right now. John Fetterman doesn't want to face the voters. Whether or not there's actually going to be a debate in a couple of weeks still remains to be seen. It's on the schedule, but a lot of folks are now saying that the Fetterman camp will come up with some reason why he can't go onto a stage and go toe-to-toe with Dr. Oz for 90 minutes. We'll have to see what happens there, but increasingly the questions about John Fetterman's past, his taxes, his lack of showing up for work, both as mayor of Braddock and as lieutenant governor, and his views on crime and some of the stuff that he's done as lieutenant governor are really starting to come home to voters, because crime continues to be the #2 issue in the minds of voters, right behind the economy. And in states like Pennsylvania, in the big cities, it's become a huge issue as these woke district attorneys don't want to prosecute crime, and where it is, as a result, going through the roof. Crime and safety, individual safety, is going to be a big, big issue in the November elections. And the national pastime is in postseason play. I'm not wearing my Phillies jersey today because while we're recording this, the Phillies haven't yet played game number 3 in their series with Atlanta, but they did knock off the St. Louis Cardinals in amazing fashion with that 6-run ninth inning in game 1 and then a masterpiece in game 2 to sweep the Cardinals and move on to play the Atlanta Braves. Game number 1, vintage Philadelphia, got a big lead, scared the hell out of me and everybody else down the way, but they managed to hold on and win. And game 3 was a little bit, or game 2 rather, was a little bit tougher. Zach Wheeler had a masterpiece going, then hit a player, and it just seemed like it got into his head and under his skin. The Braves put up 3 in that inning, and that was all she wrote. But as we're ready to record this, the Phillies are looking to go to the next game with Aaron Nola on the hill, their number 2 ace, and good things are looking up. Let me tell you, Citizens Bank Park is going to be the loudest place on the planet. The decibel level will be through the roof as the Phillies come home for the first time in a decade to face postseason play in their home ballpark. And of course, there's been a lot of other excitement. I guess the number 1 game was the Mariners' complete breakdown against the Astros, losing a 7-1 lead and blowing that game. But they're all a lot of great games and many, many more to come. And the NFL is underway. And again, that team on the eastern side of Pennsylvania seems to be doing pretty well. The Philadelphia Eagles, the only undefeated team in the NFL. So it's going to be a great season for part of Pennsylvania. We're hoping that Pittsburgh can catch up. But as for right now, they're struggling a little bit. But for today, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.